Oh, something different in the garage. It's a 98 Nissan Frontier, owned by a buddy of mine. He bought this truck already bagged and stuff. Already painted, got a little bit of work done to it. Just a pretty truck. Give you a little bit of a walk around maybe after I get my part done. But the truck's only bagged in the rear. The truck is not bagged in the front. So he's been after me to do it. I promised him that I would help him out when life slowed down a little bit, but we all know that's never gonna happen. So let's just get it in here and get some bags on the front of this truck for this guy, huh? Shouldn't be too hard of a job. You guys know me. I'm really not gonna do a how-to on this. Just shoot a little bit of video, share it, have some fun. If you have some questions, hit up the comments. Gonna use some Roadie Fab parts up front. Gonna probably trim some fenders, gonna probably replace some parts along the way. Being that it's just on rare air right now, we're gonna swap out the manual valves that he has down there for a block. I think he bought a block, a switch block. So do some basic stuff, bags, some wiring, a block, and yeah, just admire that pretty paint. This video is sponsored by Arizona Iced Tea and this really old swamp cooler. It's not true, but it should be, because without them, this video wouldn't be possible. It's hot and it's humid. I know you guys think it's a dry heat in Arizona, but trust me, you don't live here, you don't know nothing. Hey, we're back in the Frontier. Well, I mean, this one happens to be a 98, so it's like an early Frontier, but it's a Frontier nonetheless. And if you want to bag the front of your Frontier, well, you're gonna need a lot of these tools. Probably a welder, probably a grinder, probably a sawzall, a plasma cutter, a good understanding and use of cuss words, and some friends. And if you're in Arizona, it helps to have a cooler. That's all the wind you hear in the background, the cooler. It is what it is, guys. Noise, just mute me. No one listens to me anyways. Now this is probably not gonna be a how-to guide or a step-by-step. It turns out every one of these trucks is a little bit different, and everybody has a preference on bag design, setup, and how we think what should be done. Not to mention, it's really gonna matter if you have tubular upper control arms, if you're doing can-dos, if you're doing stock arms. Are you running 18s? Are you running 20s? A lot of those things play factors. What kind of bags are you running? All those things kind of change the game. The basics are pretty much the same, but if you're gonna bag it, the first thing you gotta do is get it all apart. Get your brakes out of the way, get your control arms off. You can see the bushings are all shot on this truck, so we're gonna be rebuilding the whole front end as we move along. But, if you take your time over the course of a couple of days or a weekend or whatever you got, you can achieve these results. Now it's all just tacked in place. We're gonna get the other side done, cut apart, cleaned up, tacked, mocked up, get a wheel on it. I like to do quite a few cycles up and down with some very strong, heavy tacks on these guys. Make sure everything's good, make sure our plates aren't hitting, make sure our bags aren't rubbing. And then we just burn it all in. Which, stay tuned, because I might get a hired gun over here to burn it all in. Get somebody that really knows how to weld. I mean, I can weld. My truck hasn't broke a lot. I mean, anything major. But maybe we can get some pretty welds going on this truck for this guy, because this truck's got a nice paint job, nice wheels, Great dude, owns it, and I'd like to get him some good welds on these bag plates and stuff, so every time they're changing the tires at the shop, they're not laughing at them, which is why I change tires myself. All right, I don't know how the custom shops do it, you know, those professionals, but us home hacks, this is what I do. I like to pre-mark my bolts, right, for where my control arms go, so that way when we put the truck back together, the alignments, you know, it's just easier to get the alignment kind of close to get it to an alignment shop. If you're gonna put it on a trailer or a rollback and take it to the alignment shop because you got money, and that's the smart way to do it, then none of this matters. But this gets it kind of close. You just line everything back up kind of where it's at. Another thing I like to do is when I build stuff, you know, make it, I'm not using the F word. I'm not garage fab. I'm not using the F word. That guy can do it. That dude has the skills. Me? By the way, good to see that garage fab guy back making videos and stuff. It's awesome. When I first went looking to do my truck, that was like one of the first channels I came across, and I just binged and purged so much of his stuff. It's good content, so good to see that guy back at it. When I make stuff, right, I don't like to put all my shiny new parts on when I'm building things, taking it off, putting it on, taking it off, putting it on, welding, cutting, putting it on. So what I do is I just disconnect my control arm, my ball joint. I use all the old stuff, right? It's already there, it's good. Get it out of the way. We're gonna come in here, we gotta get all this stuff out of the way. All this has to go. All your bump stop area has to go. Sawzall, cutting wheel, plasma cutter, a wing and a prayer, that usually gets the job done. Lower control arm, you need to get this out of the way. We need to open this pocket up a little bit so you can get access for the bolts on the bottom of the airbag. You're gonna have to cut this stop down or else this interferes. You're gonna wanna remake these later, or you're gonna be tearing your bags up all the time. And before you get chopping and cutting, these guys, brake lines, fuel lines back there. Take some caution, right? Take some caution with all these fuel lines and brake lines. Do some protection. Sparks like to fly. These trucks are old. There's a lot of vapors going around. I got the cooler going. I got an exhaust fan back there going. Lots of ventilation. You don't want to die. You don't want to die chopping up a mini truck. So, yeah, look at this. This is why we're using a roadie fab kit right here and getting rid of all that stuff. Shot. So, again, rant, long-winded, rambling, whatever you want to call it. Take some precautions first. Get in here and cover all that stuff up as best as you can, and then get to hacking. But no sense putting all your new parts on while you're building things. Just use the old parts. Make sure everything goes up and down the way it should. Then tear it all apart again. Final weld everything. Throw some paint on it, some rust proofing, and put all your shiny new parts on and send her off the road to the alignment shop. Good stuff. Let's talk more hack. Man, those of you guys that have been watching the channel for a while know that my old guy Homer passed away. Things in the shop just ain't quite the same with the big guy gone, and well, quite honestly, I don't know what I'm gonna do for cardboard anymore, because this dude was good for a bag of food a month, and his boxes are come in handy. I don't know if they're gonna do anything to stop a fire or a big boom, but I opened the hood. I try to use the Sawzall as much as possible to minimize the sparkage, since there are fuel lines on this side of the truck. Try to be as safe as I can. What's the most useful tool you're going to use when building a mini truck? Hammers. Big ones, small ones, yellow ones, but hammers. Because they're pretty much going to let you know you still have work to do. I also like to have an assortment of blades when I'm using the Sawzall, and I find that switching off is helpful. Have some shorter blades. Have some good blades, like Lennox blades. These blades from Harbor Freight have actually not been bad. You know, they've been okay, these Hercules. But I like to get, the blades get nice and hot. Take your time, pull this blade out, flip it around the other way, use a different blade. I seem to get more life out of them, I'm just saying, than using one blade to try and get the whole job done. I don't know. It's just me, I guess. Maybe you guys can comment below and let me know if you've experienced similar stuff. That does not work with cutoff wheels. Cutoff wheels, I just run those puppies into the ground. But Sawzall blades, I let the heat dissipate, bounce back and forth. Seems to get a little bit of extra life out of the teeth. Maybe I'm just crazy. When they're bent, put them in the vise, straighten them back out. Yep, when you've done all you can do with the Sawzall, break out the cutting wheel and then get the hammer ready. Take little pieces, get where you need to go. Woo, it's hot with that cooler off. Alright, so if you go back to my previous YouTube videos, thank you dedicated longtime viewers and subscribers, you'll have seen this before. Ugliness, belly of the beast, as I say. So now that all that roughed out crap's out of the way, we're gonna come in here and clean all this up and prepare this to box this guy in, get this frame all cleaned up so we can start laying out our airbag brackets and that. And that's where a mix of this guy and a flap disc really get in handy. Maybe an air die grinder to get in here, wire brush, get this paint off, get it all prepped, get it ready to put some airbag brackets in. Oh, and then we'll move on to the lower control arm and get this guy ready. That cooler is for more than just keeping you alive in this Arizona summer heat. Every chance you get, throw your hot grinders in front of them too. It'll make these guys last a little bit longer. At least that's my thought. Should probably protect this paint while you're working on this stuff too. All right, every time you buy those cheap packs of clearance multi-disc Harbor Freight deals and they come with these old grinding disc deal situations, this is a great opportunity to burn these cheap things up, getting all this stuff close before you spend money on the expensive flap discs, the abrasives, and make it pretty. Yeah, step one. Step two, pretend you're cutting Bondo. All right, we're all cleaned up. Not just the truck, but the workspace too. I like to just kind of, you know, treat it like a restaurant and clean up your stations in between the orders, right in between the meal. Next meal up, plating that bad boy. We got to plate this guy in before we can move ahead. So notice I made a big cut here. Yeah, that's because you need to get your hands in there to be able to get the nut on the bag from the bottom side. Is this excessive? Probably. You could probably just hole saw that, plasma cut it, drill a little bit bigger to get your... But I like to just cut a big square in this puppy, right? I'll weld this guy's up right here where I nicked it a little bit. We'll grind that smooth. Circle plate for the airbag goes on top. When you tie this in and tie this in, solid as a rock, no harm, no foul, right? Excessive? Probably. Bend built? 100%. Now remember, stuff grows when you trace it. It's gonna get a little bigger, which in this case is good. Like to make things bigger, trim to fit. What am I using? I think this is like, I don't know, 12 gauge metal. You could use 1/8 inch. This might be 8. No, it's pretty thin. It's probably 12 gauge. 1/8 inch, 3/16. Use whatever you want to close that cavity up. It ain't really hurting nothing. You're just keeping junk out. Mail call. Mail call. This is like, oh, there's a tear thing right here. There's a tear thing. What? That's a cool mail call. Maybe we can get this autographed. I know a guy. Safety squints be damned. Proper eye and ear pro is always a plus. Leave the welds, grind it out. It's your call.
Oh yeah, we want retribution.